Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. Today we're gonna continue on an advance on the Germans, but also on the Ottomans. So we are in a position here actually to strike Oldenburg, and I'm contemplating actually doing that, and then we're also just one turn away from striking Constantinople. Now, kinda wanted to move in, maybe sink the navy, but that's kinda pointless, because once I take this, obviously that's their last province, and they'll be gone. So, that should do just fine for me, without having to spend any naval resources on it. So, yeah, you know what? I think we'll go right into it. I think the best idea here is to charge in, attack Oldenburg, and start doing some damage. Up until this point, we haven't actually done that much. Ooh, given the result here, I wonder if it's even a point in fighting this battle. There's only cavalry, and I mean, cavalry always dies, and then Home Guard is kind of, you know, it takes quite a while to actually kill them off. We can't demand surrender, but I can out-resolve it. We lost 99 men, while the enemy lost everything. Wonderful. And we went ahead and put it on the military occupation. Wonderful. Replenishment is just as bad here. Seemingly they're pretty okay with us actually taking over this place. As soon as possible I will be going back into the Rhineland territory, as we've got railroad coming in here soon. Should increase the resupply in the region, plus I'm hoping to build a resupply depot here. And not only that, I'm expecting the Germans to counterattack through here. Or possibly the French will actually go ahead and take Berlin, and the German war effort will then turn over there. Right. I want actually you to turn back so I know what's going on here. I'm not too interested in what's going on here. Right, let's see if we can't go ahead and attack and take Constantinople in the next turn. Interesting. I wasn't expecting this at all. A Austrian pilot. I was about to say, why did I almost say pirate? Maybe it's a pirate, I don't know. A pilot, a fighter pilot, actually comes to attack my bomber plane, which is scouting here. No surprise, I guess. He's good at both fencing and shooting. So, evasive? Oh, aggressive, evasive. Choose your tactic. Well, we're a bomber plane. We can't really be aggressive. Unless of course, I mean, we're really good at maneuvering, taking him by surprise and dropping a bomb on his head. Obviously, there are, you know, I'm hoping there's at least one machine gunner somewhere on the plane, but it's more fun to imagine him dropping a bomb on him. We're evasive. Obviously, this is not how it would go, but seemingly we were able to escape the pilot. What you didn't see, or maybe I will actually include it, is the French. Well, I'm all over the place. Pirates, renaming my ally, the French, to Germans, and so on. But anyways, the French attack on Berlin failed, so they were pushed back. And it's a complete failure, I must say. And as we can see here, the Ottomans actually sally forth out of Constantinople. Not entirely sure why, but that's what they're doing. I can kind of see why. They have no heavy artillery whatsoever. Mortar batteries. Only mortar batteries. Got plenty of infantry though. But when we look at the forces, we've got 2,200 men against the enemy's 3,300, roughly, I'd say. According to the strength meter, they're a little bit ahead of us, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. Or actually, it's probably in the middle. But I'd definitely say the ball is definitely in our court, as We've got lots of heavy artillery and gas and so on. Even though in the last battle we used gas, we managed to gas our own troops, both Australian and Canadian. So let's be a little bit more careful where we're firing this thing. Right, with that said, let's go into battle and defeat the Ottomans, opening a wave to take control of Constantinople. And knocking out one of the enemy powers out of the war. And here we have arrived on the field of battle. So we've got a ridge going straight through the battlefield on this side, and then we kind of got this valley down below with a bit of forest on either side here. As the Ottoman army has deployed along here with cavalry indicating the flanks on either side, so once again it's kind of a tight formation in the center. I have placed my Australian cavalry to be able to dip over here and attack the enemy. We have the New Zealand infantry. It's going to gather around this house together with the two groups of machine guns around here. We're going to have the Australian infantry advance down the hill, and together with the Canadian, not the Canadians, the yet again pirates, Canadians, what? It's all topsy-turvy today. We'll have the Highland infantry move to secure this hill right here and then be moving upon the enemy. With that said, let's go ahead and start. And I'm going to start by advancing the machine guns. I'm going to place one machine gun there, and I'm thinking we're going to take the house just because I love to put troops in houses. Even though it's not necessarily the best thing to do. Actually, I'll put the other machine gun here. And then this infantry group will take the high ground there. Alright, the Ottomans are advancing. Getting torn up right from the start here. Also making sure that we are targeting all their artillery to start off with. Not that their guns are going to do much against us. And then we'll have Scots advance. The danger here is that they will hold the forested area and they'll fire out, and that's much better cover than being out in the open, obviously. But I think we will manage. Once the dual batteries of machine guns are able to set up from over here, I think we'll be gold, as they say. Just love setting up troops, especially in this house, just because it looks so cool. So we got tons of New Zealand troops inside. Machine gun group is already massacring the enemy's cavalry. First Dragoons. Right now a lot of their infantry is being spared my artillery fire as I'm focusing in on the mortars. But that will change. I wonder... my machine guns actually reach all the way over here. Hopefully we'll see some of these mortars drop pretty darn soon. Although it might just be too far away. What are they doing? The entire Ottoman army is now moving to this side. Not entirely sure why. It kind of opened up for me to do a sneak attack on the mortars with the cavalry. Because the Ottoman army is all moving towards here. I was hoping they'd attack around here, so at least we get to shoot out of the building. Doesn't look to be the case. The mortar group is absolutely being torn to shreds by the machine gun fire, where we've destroyed all but one mortar, and there's only 3 men manning it now. To the point where I actually feel it's unnecessary to continue the fire, and instead focusing on the second one, as the first one is destroyed. As we go over here, we've been hitting these with gas for quite a while, plus all the other artillery fire has promptly destroyed most of the enemy in this region. We have been hit a little bit by the mortar fire, but it's not too bad comparatively. What's this? Ah, enemy reinforcements arriving. Now I do have my Australian cavalry ready. What we'll do is we'll set them like that. And then since this didn't pan out, we're gonna have the 2 New Zealand troops advance forward over here, and now the machine guns are out of range of most of the Ottoman army. We'll still set them here, so they have a wide cover of the area. It looks as though we're gonna have to go after the Ottoman army. So we'll start doing that. Figure out angles in which to attack them. Currently continuing to blast the enemy's artillery, but it might be time, not that I need to, because right now the Ottomans are marching into the fire anyways. Getting gassed and bombed. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing, but it looks like they're gathering towards kind of the high ground here. Just they're doing it in a very poor manner, I must say. Alright, let's move the New Zealanders forward actually. And what kind of troops? I can't exactly remember what they were sending in. Ooh, machine gun. That is bad for my cavalry. That could destroy them rather quickly. And anything else I've got there. Is there a way that I could quickly advance on them? We got a hill here. I'm gonna advance one over here. And I'm gonna advance one over there. So we've got 2 positions. One's gonna swing around, one could hit from the front. Let's advance so that we're actually on top of this hill. So that if the cavalry decides to ride towards us, we'll be able to fire upon it quite far ahead of it reaching us. We've got a bit of contact here. We've got, I believe this is one of the elite battalions coming under fire from our combined forces of the Highland battalions. Highlands battalions now destroying them. Looks like they're actually now moving in full force to meet the Australian infantry. And same over here. It was correct choice to move up onto the hill, because they're now moving to attack us right there. I could probably move the machine guns up here and support the attack. Okay, the machine gun is moving, and now they've got an additional cavalry unit or a infantry unit walking in among it. I'm gonna see if I can kind of trigger a response from them by riding over here, moving in towards them. I'm thinking the machine gun would be turning, probably firing into its own friendly units. And as that is happening, this one will be moved into action. Now I'm missing all the action here, of course, but seemingly these guys have just marched themselves to death constantly during this battle. Okay, they're reacting. Secondary unit is moving in. We've got first unit firing. Second unit moving into the attack. We got. Hold your fire. Good first strike. Oh, we broke the Marines. And we successfully actually broke all the reinforcements here. Took some casualties, about 40-50 men from the New Zealand horse. Australian horse, not the New Zealand. Once again, it's probably we'll continue. Right. Well, that was a good strike. One time where I actually used cavalry really effectively. And were able to shock the enemy into a total submission. Look at that. The Marines don't know what hit them. These guys definitely knew what hit them. It's just that... Oh yeah, we probably don't want them to retreat back to Constantinople, right? So we want to take out as many of these as possible. And then the follow-up battle, where we actually take the city, is not going to be as bloody for us. These forces will obviously be augmented or added on by city militia. That might actually be better, rather than facing tons of fully manned militia groups. It might be better to face smaller groups of broken infantry from the previous battle. Set up on the hill right here. You've got a nice view of retreating Ottoman troops. We're about to come up on the enemy cavalry as they're retreating. But you decided to shoot... Oh! That... We hit the general. Where he died right here somewhere, right? I can see his horse running away there. He got shot off his horse. Here somewhere. Huh. I didn't even... That was not the target I was looking for. There he is. Now we found him. Wait, I lost him again. There he is. I can see his pants. There we go, there we found him. There's the general. Oh no, we cut his face off as well. No, there it is. There's his face. Right. Wonderful. Victory. They certainly are. Not thanks to this battle, though. The enemy deployed 3,300 men against our 2,200, roughly. So they had 1,000 men more. But they lost 2,000 men more, as they ended up losing 2,800 men during that battle, while we only suffered 252 casualties. The enemy just walked around, taking artillery damage throughout the battle, not even really making a good enough push against the infantry. Right. Highest kills, gas, no surprise there. Had a field day firing at those big formations. Almost killed 1,000. Followed by heavy howitzer and a Highland infantry. Then we've got Australian horse. Why don't I say New Zealand? Do they even have horses on New Zealand? They probably do. If they do, please comment below. I would like to know. Right. Wonderful. Right. As it moved over to Germany's turn, they were able to sally forth and counterattack on the French troops and completely destroy that stack. Wonderful, France. It's good that you take the initiative, but a blitzkrieg directly to the German capital was a little bit too interesting of a plan, or too cunning of a plan, I should say. Air combat lost, no surprise, but I'm still venturing in to Austro-Hungarian territory. There he is, pilot. We're gonna go in and we're gonna take a look at what's going on here. It's the Prussians, no, the Russians lost all their conquest in German territory. Now let's see if they're gonna lose everything in the Austro-Hungarian territory as well. Troops being recruited in England. We've got sappers and infantry. And we've got railroads being built. Wonderful. time to move the troops over to the good railroads. Oh, I just realized we've got the same kind of railroads here, right? Great. I will be able soon enough to start building on that. Maybe the medium barracks provide some. We're having a really low supply rate here. I can actually move and take Hanover, which could be another step. Hanover usually has a warehouse. That's actually in Denmark. Right? It only has a log cabin. I wish to resupply my troops before venturing on to this. We've got 2 full stacks and not something I'm super keen on attacking. Let's take a defensive position on the bridge. But, yeah, once more, we're about to attack the Ottomans. We even got a battle here. Battle of Istanbul, July 1960. Time to attack the town. Just because it's such a consequential battle, damn it, consequential battle. So even though it's easily out to resolve, I think we'll still play it just because. Or maybe not. Or maybe we do. Yes, I think we do. Also notice how many the stars. This guy is a very much a defensive general. If you compare the stars he had when he was defending compared to now when he's attacking, when he only gets 4, when he probably had 6, 7 when he was defending. Really, that's super great to send such a general to attack. Anyways, let's go ahead and slaughter the defenders and take Constantinople. I will be trying to herd the enemy into my machine guns. As we can see, they're deploying in a very long front. They're actually all moving towards this side. So we're gonna try and get them as they move like that. I actually wish now that I deployed most of my infantry over on that side, but who will... I certainly did not know that that was the way they were going. Oh no, the Ottomans coming up behind us. The remnants of the last battle is coming in trying to assassinate our general. I guess that would be for... serves us just right as we assassinated their general last battle. Right now they're shooting the artillery in the back. You know what? Now I wish I murdered all of these guys as they were retreating. This is not gonna go well. I'm gonna throw some of my cavalry in just to upset the Ottoman advance. But, yeah, that did not work out. That did not work out at all, did it? Cavalry unit will survive, though. And now I've got infantry ready to back up my troops. General will come back to support. We'll withdraw the Australian troops, and we'll actually withdraw the Canadian. No, they're not the Canadian. God damn it! Again. You know what? At this point, I should just give up, because it continuously will be wrong. One more charge. We'll tell our units to advance. The charge didn't have the impact that I thought. I think we deployed... We should have deployed the cavalry in deeper formation as we moved through there. So we didn't get the morale shock that we were hoping for. So this kind of turned into a more difficult battle than the last one. Lucky here that I am actually conquering this territory, and that we will be at this point able to replenish our forces after this battle. I could probably take this hill with my Highland troops. Had to think there a little bit before I spoke. Move up the Australian troops, and then we need to send something to plug the gap on this side. But I'm thinking that's the job for the New Zealand troops, as they should be free now to move against the enemy. We've got tons of enemy troops all the way out here, so I'm gonna bomb them. Maybe actually focus in all my firepower on the general, and we can end this battle without too much British bloodshed. And all the rest of Empire troops. Yes, let's focus completely in on the general. Machine gun doesn't reach the enemy general as of yet, anyways. Right, if he dies, he dies. If he dies, he dies. But if he dies, I'm hoping that we'll see a break within the enemy's morale. It is, of course, only home guard units. Let's put the squeeze on what's left here, and then move here as well. Not entirely sure why this one decided to move in such a manner. Not killing as many as I'd hoped of the general's troop. Let's deploy the Australians like that. As we're putting the squeeze on these troops, I want you to actually focus now on this. Actually, all my Highland troops should be focusing on this one. And as these running up the side will be destroying the enemy. Alright, focus fire, focus fire. Let's go ahead and I mean, these guys are walking up in a perfect line for the machine gun just to fire up the side and destroy them. But all of these troops out here, somehow we haven't been able to hit the general here. There he is. The old bastard. Hand over the city, I say. I think they're kind of hiding behind the hill, and that's why we're not really being able to get them. Let's see if we can't start to advance here. Put a little bit of a squeeze on the enemy. There's only 30 enemies left here. So this fight on this side should be done pretty darn soon, as this one was. So we got 2 Australian, 2 machine gun, and the 2 New Zealand infantry. Moving to deal with Ottomans, which looks to be heading our way now. Finally coming to fight us. We haven't been able to hit the general, so I'm just going to spread out the attack again among All the enemy troops here. I do have cavalry. And we might have a better chance charging at home guard. Although there won't be a lot of Australian cavalry left after this. Most of them will have been wounded at this point. If I break up the biggest unit here, I think we have a good chance of running up this force. If I break this one down, so it's less than 100, then we can kind of ride through here, hopefully, and get the lot of them. Risky, but I want to end this battle sooner rather than later. So now we are at 98 for this home guard. Continues the blasting it. Cavalry is set to advance. Hopefully most of the enemy shots will be absorbed by the woods. We're telling them to hold fire now. I'm telling the New Zealand troops to hold the fire. And there I'm ordering the charge. Going straight for the general. We definitely shocked the general's unit. Let's get the Australians here as well. Bogged down in fighting here. High losses among the cavalry, but we can see a high loss. There we go. The enemy general was killed, and we've got morale shock going through the entirety of the enemy army, or what was left of it. Unfortunately, looks like there's not a lot left of my cavalry there. But their charge ended the battle. Let's hold the Australians there. Shoot them down. Right, with that, we've knocked the Ottomans out of the war. Here's the result of the battle. We actually lost more men in this battle. No surprise, it was kind of messy. So in the last one I lost 300 roughly. This one I lost 600. However, we did destroy a force of 2,700 enemy troops, wherein which none actually remain. And we still have 1,300. I can't remember what we started with in the campaign, but looks like we lost at least 2/3. And I just realized that all the Australian cavalry was destroyed during this battle. I didn't realize it was going to be that bad. I know infantry units can survive until there's like, even if there's less than 10 men, they can survive. But here, they're all gone, unfortunately. Brave fellows though, and they definitely did the job. We can see that machine guns, followed by gas, followed by heavy howitzers, and so on. And then New Zealand infantry, and we've got all of that. Even the general managed to get 10, but I think that's because it's a siege. Right. It's going to be hard to keep this under control. I can liberate it, but I'm not sure if that will work well. I think the idea anyways, if I recall, the idea was, or what they actually did after the war, right? That they actually, or the British wanted to hold on to the area, right? As an occupation area. So we're gonna do military occupation. The Ottoman Empire is destroyed. Artillerist. No surprise there. Do I have the possibility of... yes, we can get those guys back. So we're gonna recruit 3 of those to get that back. We've got Navy. Let's see. Which one is it that I want to move? We've got one on... That's not ours. That one. That one's on copper. So now we've opened up so we can actually get oil. Copper is 59. Coal is 54. Oil is 58. If I then move away, because... Okay, so copper... That's the wrong button. Copper is clearly now the most expensive one. So if I move away the coal one...
Yes, Your Majesty.
Coal price should change, right? Coal is now 63. Okay, so it is the best result as I have it now. I can't really get it any better, I think.
Lord's servant.
Because I could switch them around. I guess what I could do is... Do I have multiple stacks somewhere?
A missionary on a mission.
Because we got one copper, one coal. And then over here we've got oil and copper. So we got one on oil. Wait, here though, look at this. This is 5 units of copper. This is 15 units of oil, right?
Yes.
Or 10 units. 10 units of oil. Oh, it's because it's 2 units here. So I'm actually having 2 on oil. If I move one away from oil, what price do I get then? 67. Okay, so I do actually have it maximized, right? The thing is, I think, if I recall correctly, the dev said they didn't want you to stack ships on the same location. So it could be that we're actually getting less from here. So what I could do is just move this ship, this oil ship, or one trading in oil, over to another node that's trading oil, and in that way I will be making more money. But I'm not sure how much more I will be making, and might be just a waste of time to send a ship all the way out here. But that's good, and now I even gain a port over here. Wonderful. So now we've got a resupply place, so that is closer than the other one we had. I'm gonna leave the trade transport, and then we're gonna leave 2 armored cruisers, the Argyle and the Abukir. And then we're gonna get the rest of the fleet to go back in here and destroy the remnants of the... No, wait. We're not gonna go there anyway, just yet. What we want to do, of course, is we want to build up defenses here so we can hold this against the possibility of, you know, angry revolt. But then I want to move this force, and I don't want to move it through land, I don't think. Instead we could land it through the sea, because then I could detach cavalry. Or no, yeah, what I could do is I could have the army march by the land, but I can bring the horses or the cavalry by the navy, drop them here, have them ride, force the navy out, then go in and destroy it. I think that's the plan. And then the cavalry can ride through the mountains, link up with the army. They probably want that job anyway, since the last guys that held the job died. But there we have it. The Ottoman Empire is pushed out of the war. We have gained control. And everything is going really well, even though I was slurring my words throughout the entire thing. Mispronouncing or misnaming, mislabeling every single unit. But yeah. Oh yeah, we do still have the Irish. Shouldn't really be a problem. We've got 4 units. They're coming in one by one. So they should be destroyed. And everything's going according to plan. We hold 2 territories in Germany. We knocked 1 power out. And we're dealing with the Irish revolt. So everything is going just as ordered. With that said, I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!
kafası varken daha yakışıklıydı.